Discipline can show up in many areas of your life. But odds are you don't have to think too hard before you come across something in your own life that you're not doing or you're not doing regularly, that you wish you were doing regularly and you wish you were doing. But each time you have to make the decision to do it is a very difficult mental battle. And you're losing that battle as a product of not having discipline. Welcome to episode 24 of Sitting in Awesome Places / Strange Places with Jeremiah. Today I want to talk about discipline. So a lot of people think about discipline, or they seem to think about discipline as this thing that is not necessarily an attainable and a growable skill, but rather just something that shows up one day. So therefore, if you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, you're screwed, you don't have it. Back when I was in college and I suddenly realized that law school was this thing that I had chased for years without any actual heart in it, but rather it just sounded good to everyone that I told about it, and therefore I pursued it without question. After I realized that, I went into a pretty terrible, dark place in life. And suddenly all of the discipline that I had cultivated and applied to pursuing law school was thrown out the window, and I felt like I had no control whatsoever of my life. What ensued was a period where I had to re-instill my life with discipline that was not tethered necessarily to an obvious goal, but rather was a decision that I made for my own benefit and not necessarily for something outside of myself. I guess that would be the ultimate self-help decision, but without reading articles or watching movies or going to a conference, but rather just waking up in the morning and deciding that the actions you're going to take that day are for you. So what does discipline look like? Discipline looks like doing something that you don't want to do in that moment because you know that in the long run or in the long term, that is a decision that you want to be a part of your life, regardless of how it feels to make that decision in the moment. So waking up on time, waking up early, making the long trek to a meeting, actually going to the meeting in the first place, scheduling the meeting in the first place, showing up to work even when it sucks, doing the work on time, finishing the work early, putting your all into whatever work it is. Cultivating relationships, being strategic with remembering who you need to speak to and what they last told you, remembering aspects of what you've learned as a product of being around that person, if they're a mentor or even a mentee. These are all products of discipline, of instilling discipline in your decisions and in your actions. Without discipline, life really sucks. You basically are on the back of a horse with no reins, and the horse is running wherever it wants to go. And instilling discipline into your life is like slowly learning to actually ride that horse and control it and direct it where you want to go and actually arrive at places where you intended to go and to arrive. And once you have that feeling of having controlled the beast in order to arrive at the destination that you chose, that's the first fruits of having instilled discipline in your life. Discipline can show up in many areas of your life. But odds are you don't have to think too hard before you come across something in your own life that you're not doing or you're not doing regularly, that you wish you were doing regularly and you wish you were doing. But each time you have to make the decision to do it is a very difficult mental battle, and you're losing that battle as a product of not having discipline.